Hello there! Today we will learn about drama, and by the end of this lesson you should be able to read about short stories and explain the themes, differentiate between the types of prose, identify the features of a prose, and write examples of different types of prose. Let's begin! Do you recognize this book? The Passport of Malam Ilya is a story of Malam Ilya who spent a greater part of his life seeking revenge for wrong done to him by one Usman. This novel is about trust, betrayal, and revenge. The novel is an example of a prose. A prose from the Latin word prosa, which means straightforward speech or natural flow of speech. Prose is written in ordinary form without metrical structure. It is also written in full grammatical sentences, which then form paragraphs. Prose is classified into fiction and non-fiction. Fiction is a type of prose that describes imaginary people and events, not real ones, while non-fiction, on the other hand, is about the real people and events. Fiction as a class of prose can be further characterized into different groups. Let's take a look at some of them. 1. Short story. This is a work of fiction with not more than 7,000 words. Any story containing more than this is considered a novelette. A short story is more restricted in characters and situations. Unlike the novel, the characters are not fully developed. There are also no detailed description of background and incidents. Most short stories are found in collection, and an example is The Thing Around Your Neck by Chimamanda Adichie. 2. Novella. A novella or novelette is a short piece of prose fiction that is shorter than a novel but longer than a short story. It can be any genre: mystery, science fiction, or romance. What distinguishes the novella from other types of fiction is the word count. An example of a novella is The Old Man and the Sea by Ernest Hemingway. 3. Novel. This is a complete work of fiction. It is longer than the other two discussed. The characters are fully developed and incidents well captured. An example of a novel is Things Fall Apart by Chinwe Achebe. So, what makes a prose? What elements should be there if you want to determine if a piece of writing is a prose, or what you need to consider in case you want to write one? Let's take a look at the features of a prose. 1. Setting. The setting tells the reader where and when the story takes place. The setting can be a real or fictional place. A setting should be clearly defined and well described in the story. 2. Characters. The people or animals that a story is about are known as characters. The different personality of each character should be well developed to bring out their uniqueness. Characters should be developed by describing their physical appearance, manner of speaking, and thinking. A character can be protagonist or antagonist. A protagonist is the hero or heroine of the story, while the antagonist is the villain of the story who is always opposing the protagonist. 2. Plot. This is the way events are arranged in a story. Exposition is the part of the plot that tells how the story begins. Rising action is the part leading to the climax. Conflict is the struggle or battle between the protagonist and the antagonist. Climax, however, is the highest point of tension. This is the height of conflict. Falling action is the action after the climax that leads to resolution. Resolution is the part of the plot where every conflict is resolved. 4. Theme. This is the main idea or underlying meaning of a story. It may be stated directly or indirectly in the story. The theme could be about love and friendship, war, crime and mystery, love and betrayal, revenge. Now that you know the features of a prose, I will share some writing tips that you can use. 1. Use a good starter to grip your readers. You can start with an action. Use speech to introduce characters or describe the setting. 2. Do not have too many characters. Stick to 2, 3, or 4 characters. 3. Do not write about too many events. Concentrate on a major event in your story. 4. Choose a good narrative technique that suits the story. And with that, we've come to the end of the lesson. Today, we have learned what a prose means, the different types of prose, and identified the features of a prose. See you in the next lesson.